Hello everyone, my name is Betty Lou, and this is the newest episode in my video series about Princeton. Today we will be talking about the pre-orientation programs, Outdoor Action and Community Action. These are two programs that allow incoming freshmen, or pre-frosh as we tend to call them, to get to know one another and make connections before the year officially starts. Community Action is a program where Princeton students go on week-long service trips in the greater community, doing various volunteer work. Outdoor Action is a trip to the great outdoors where students can build teamwork skills through activities like hiking, canoeing, backpacking, etc. Over the years, these programs have been a great way for incoming freshmen to transition into life at Princeton. When I first heard about these pre-orientation programs, I was actually really excited to be a part of them. Freshmen had to fill out an application at the end of May to be considered for these programs, but from what I can tell, these were just for logistical purposes. There was a limited number of space for each of these programs, and the application was on a first-come, first-served basis. The application also helped to put students in an activity that they would enjoy, done by allowing students to list their preferences. But from talking to other members of Outdoor Action and Community Action, most people were able to get their first choice, and even if they weren't, they still ended up having a great time on whatever trip they ended up on. Okay, so now a bit more about my personal experience. When I first saw that there were two options, I knew immediately that I was not going to apply for Outdoor Action. While I'm all for keeping an open mind and trying new things, I was not about to venture out into the wilderness for a week. Back home, I lived in an area famous for its natural wonders, such as hiking and camping were pastimes that were very popular there because it was the mountains and there were a lot of really pretty forests. Anyways, while I love going on the occasional half-day hike, I found the idea of having to live in the wilderness for a week to be absolutely daunting. Not to mention all of the mosquitoes that are likely to have eaten me alive during the trip. So that was not going to happen. Thankfully, Community Action looked like it would be a wonderful experience. There were all sorts of different programs, from working with youth in the Princeton area to helping out with environmental nonprofit programs. Ultimately, I ended up in Community Action, working under the theme Education and Literacy. So, for a little background about Community Action, it is a program that is sponsored by the Pace Center at Princeton. Throughout the university's history, service has been a long-standing tradition. As former university president and past president of the United States, Woodrow Wilson said, "It is not learning, but the spirit of service that will give a college a place in the public annals of the nation." This is sentiment echoed by the founders of the Pace Center, John Pace Jr., class of 39, John Bogle, class of 51, and Professor Burton Malkiel. As Malkiel said at Princeton's 250th anniversary, the most important part of our quarter millennium celebration is what we leave as a legacy for future generations, what we can establish today that will make not only our institution, but the world as a whole, a better place in which to live. As a program under the Pace Center, Community Action strives to make a difference, but that is not the only component of service. Meaningful service also has an educational component, where students participating in service can get a better understanding of the people they work with and learn more about the world around them. For Community Action, there was a focus on the educational portion. After all, we only had a week's time to go out and work. There are only so many physical changes you can make in a week, but there's no limit to the knowledge you can gain from the experience. With this knowledge, students can reflect on their experiences and think critically about their surroundings and the people they work with. As for my personal experience with Community Action, I worked under the theme Education and Literacy, which worked with students in the Princeton area to help close what is known as the achievement gap, or the opportunity gap. When someone thinks about Princeton, oftentimes they will associate the word with prestige and privilege. After all, it is an elite university with a wealth of resources. But many students in the area don't have access to these, and this is the main focus of Community House, which was the Community Action group I was a part of. It strives to close the achievement gap by offering academic support to underrepresented students. During Community Action, I worked with Community House After School Academy, otherwise known as CHASA, which is an after-school program that helps middle school students improve their academic skills. During my time with Community House, we helped them with some of the tasks that needed to be done before the start of the school year, such as folding pamphlets, making bulletin boards, and cleaning out a frog tank. That was one of their pets. We were also able to work with the kids after their first day of school, and we helped them make goal sheets so that they could have a concrete plan of what they wanted to achieve throughout the school year. Along with working with the CHASA group, we also worked with Princeton Nursery School. This is a preschool that focuses on offering childcare and a quality education to families in need. Here, we also help prepare for the beginning of a new year. Some of our tasks included touching up paint on the walls, sorting through book donations, and doing some general cleaning. While community action is built on service, there is also so much more to the experience. There's a strong social aspect to the program. Roughly 200 students participate in community action, and they are split into groups of about 10, which then scatter throughout the surrounding area for their service work. Throughout the week, you get to know your group very well. For a week, you eat together, sleep together, work together, and play together. After just 2 or 3 days, it feels as if you've known these people for months. This was another aspect I loved about community action, because it meant that when school started, I already had a group of friends that I knew I could rely on. For me, there could have been no better introduction to Princeton. As for outdoor action, it is a much larger program that has been established for much longer. Compared to the 200 students who go on community action trips, over 700 students participate in outdoor action. Outdoor action was first conceived in 1973 when members of the Dean of Students' office noticed that freshmen were reporting feelings of isolation after getting to campus. They came up with the idea of outdoor action as a means of facilitating interpersonal interactions and encouraging personal growth. In the last 40 years, outdoor action has been extremely effective in accomplishing these goals. Being in the outdoors brings a certain type of challenge that people do not normally have to face, which can push people out of their comfort zone and allow for personal growth. Being in a small group setting allows people to bond closely and have more interpersonal interactions. Outdoor action offers a diverse group of activities for students to participate in. In total, there are 9 different activities, which range from backpacking to canoeing. These trips also take students to a variety of different places, with some trips going as far as Virginia and Vermont. From what I've heard, the weather was gorgeous for most of these outdoor action trips. Students were able to bond with their small groups, enjoying the beauty of the outdoors, and also commiserating about the lack of showers. As a side note, most participants of outdoor action had either limited or no access to indoor plumbing during their trip, which to me was another reason I was glad I chose community action. Regardless of this, outdoor action was still a great program for everyone that participated in it. One of my roommates actually did outdoor action this year, and she had a fantastic time. She made a group of new friends and got to enjoy some beautiful scenery. So this wraps up my introduction to community action and outdoor action. Both are great programs, and I was very lucky to be a part of one of them. If you have any questions about outdoor action or community action, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to try to answer them. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.